Hi traders, and welcome to another strategy segment on my channel. So today we're going to be talking about trading off of volume. Now I'm going to give you guys 3 examples and what that means for the market. So the first example I want to give you guys is spikes in volume after a long downtrend or a long uptrend. And normally, as a rule of thumb, if you see a spike in volume after a very long downtrend, you can assume the price will likely go in the other direction. If you see a spike in volume after a long uptrend, you can assume also the price will go in the other direction, which will be downward. Now, why this is because when many people are trading at a certain level after a long move, it usually means that buying interest is picking up after a long downtrend, that is. And if many people are trading after a long up move, it usually means that that's a sell-off and the price will likely move downward. So if we look here, we can see that there are 2 spikes in volume as this move went lower. We can see here that when volume spiked, price went upward, and then was rejected here and continued to move downward. And then we can see an even larger spike happened here when price actually moved up, went back to support, and then moved higher. Now what you would have noticed is with this spike in volume after this long downtrend, this would have been your buying opportunity. You'd probably want to buy at the first strong bullish move that was printed. So what that means is you wouldn't want to buy here because this doesn't really look like a strong bullish move. And you might want to buy here, but you probably would have bought here because what you would have seen is a lot of volume being traded, then a strong bullish move printed here. So you would have bought it around the 235, 240 level, and you would have gotten up to around 260 before price went back down to support. And that would be a very nice profit if you had just traded these spikes and traded the reversal. Now the next example we're going to go over is the flip side of spikes in volume, which is weakening volume and what that means for the market. So just like a spike in volume could show buying interest and bullish momentum after a downtrend, also after a downtrend or an uptrend too, what you want to look for is weakening volume. We can see here that as price moved downward, the volume began to lessen. And what that means is that the selling interest is beginning to lower, showing that price is going to have a harder time moving downward. Now, if you had seen that this selling interest was declining, your buying opportunity would probably be the first strong bullish move that was printed again. And that might have been here, but it more likely would have been around here. So if you had bought at around 265 and went through this choppiness, you probably wouldn't want to sell here. This would not hit your stop loss. You probably would have gotten out around here when volume began to fall off here. And if you had bought at 265 and gotten out around the 290 or even like the 280 level, that would be a very nice profit. And your reason for buying this would have been, again, weakening bearish momentum here. As you can see that not many people are interested in selling this, and then a strong bullish move that was printed here. Now you wouldn't have bought here, even though this does look like a strong bullish move, because this is just not enough loss in volume. So if you were here and seen this, that's really not enough to quantify a buy, but this is, because you can see that the volume is getting significantly lower, a lot of less people are selling, and you want to buy here. Now the last example I want to talk about is breakouts. And what a breakout is when price is in a consolidation period or a ranging period, and then price breaks out to one side or the other. Now when you see a breakout, you want to know, is this move supported by volume? And identifying these are a little bit easier than identifying the other formations that I've showed you. What you just look for here is when you see this breakout occur, you want to know, does this move have a lot of volume? And if it does, price is very likely to continue in that direction. So if we look here, price was consolidating here, getting very, very short here, and then it broke down here. Now if we look at this volume move here, this was quite high volume because it surpassed a lot of candles before it, all the way to here. This had more volume than any of these single candlesticks. And then here was a spike in volume. Now again, you might think that I'm contradicting myself by saying that a spike in volume would actually mean a downward move here. But the difference between this situation and the situation I showed you before with the spike in volume was that was a sustained downtrend. and then this is just a consolidation period where price doesn't really know where to go. And large volume will dictate where the price goes. So again, to recap, if you see a large downtrend or uptrend and then see a large spike in volume, you can expect that price is going to reverse. But if you see a consolidation period or a period where price just seems to be bouncing off support and resistance like this, and then you see a large breakout with high volume, it can be reasonable to expect that price will continue in that direction. Now, on the flip side again, if you do not see really much volume being traded at all and price does break out, you can expect that price could go the other way. You can also see this when a bullish move occurs as a breakout. And what that would have been is just about here with this move. So again, what you want to look for is three things: spikes, weakening momentum, and breakouts supported by high volume. Now, if you see any of these things, this should be a trading opportunity for you. And what I would recommend is to get off the hourly, go on the 15-minute time frame, and to look at your indicators and look for a spot to buy. Or on the flip side, if you're holding a position, looking for a spot to sell. Now, I hope that video cleared some things up for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.